Hello, this is Debbie Kay with the League of Women Voters of Portland. You are watching Video Voters Guide. We're at the studios of MetroEast Community Media in Gresham, interviewing candidates for the 2018 general election in November. We have invited all the candidates who filed for this race, and with me today is Bob Callahan, running for Judge of the Circuit Court, 4th District, Position 30. Thank you so much for coming today.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. First question, why are you running to be a judge?
I have been practicing law in Portland for 30 years. And given the nature of the political situation, both in our nation and our state, I felt compelled to do something about it. I looked around, I looked at my skill set, and I saw a position where I felt like I could do some good. And so I decided to run for this office.
All right. Do you want to amplify on the skill set you're bringing?
Well, I've been a trial lawyer in Portland, mainly Multnomah County, for 30 years. I've had nearly 100 jury trials, both civil and criminal. I've studied jury work my entire career. In fact, even in law school, I had my first jury trial, my actual first jury trial while I was in law school. And I think that especially since this is a trial level position, the judge's work day in and day out is in the courtroom. And I have a lot of experience being in the courtroom, conducting jury trials, handling sentencing, and I felt like it was a good mix.
Thank you for explaining. Our first substantive question besides that, what alternatives to incarceration do you support for nonviolent crimes?
First of all, we should back out and say that society will always bear the burden of protecting itself and making the community safe. That's why prisons exist. There are people that need to be segregated from society. We've cast that net a little bit too broad, and especially with nonviolent offenders, there is more room to do what might be called non-traditional resolutions for it. Currently, there's a strong movement towards restorative justice, a process where basically all the stakeholders in an event are brought in and try to fashion a resolution that, first of all, repairs the harm that may have been done to each party, including society, and then fashion a appropriate response that may not involve prison. We've seen an increase in the criminal system with mental health issues, substance abuse issues, and also homelessness. These are not necessarily criminal issues. They're medical issues and economic issues. So to whatever degree we can to try and get those out of the criminal justice system and obviously out of the jails. There are too many people in jails that they're not getting an appropriate treatment regime, and it's not helping with recidivism once they get out. So any option that is less costly to the taxpayer and also more efficient in fashioning a long-term solution to it, I think should be considered.
Thank you. Do you believe that the courts should be monitored for unintentional racial bias?
I think bias and prejudice exists everywhere in life. One of the first steps that we can take to mitigate the negative effect of it is to recognize it, that it exists. I know I have biases, I have prejudices, and for the most part, most of my adult life, I've struggled to get on top of them, understand them, and move beyond them. So I would welcome any sort of objective measure of that, at least in my behavior, and try and minimize, if not eliminate, its impact.
What is your vision for the future of Oregon's judicial system? Where are we headed?
We've always had issues with financing for the court system. That's more a legislative issue and much higher decision making than a trial lawyer or a trial judge. I think that in terms of what the courts see on a daily basis, we're seeing much more self-driven pro se litigation.
Pro se?
Yeah, I think part of it is the effect of the internet and forms available for people.
Can you define pro se?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a party representing themselves without a lawyer. Also, the timing. There's an old saying that justice delayed is justice denied. And we've had problems, especially in domestic relations areas, with getting enough judges in a timely resolution to a problem. So I would hope to be able to speed up the resolution of disputes that come into the legal system.
Thank you. What other issues do you think are central to the job of a Multnomah County Circuit Court judge?
Probably the strongest asset of the judicial system is the belief in it of the general public. And I think that keeping that sense of integrity and that sense of independence and impartiality is essential to keep public support for the judicial system. And I one of the reasons I'm running for this office is that our Constitution, the Oregon Constitution, it is very direct in saying that the voters shall elect judges. And yet we have a system that has evolved. I call it a hybrid system where vacancies appear in the middle of judges' terms. The governor then fills them, and the appointed judge runs as an incumbent, when in fact that judge has never been elected by the people. There's an implicit use of the word incumbent that I think people don't understand, that person has never been elected before, as in the case of my opponent. I think it's fundamentally important that citizens get involved in the selection of judges, that they ask the difficult questions. You know, what qualities do you want in a judge? And I think experience, especially trial court experience, some sort of connection to the community and connection to community values are absolutely essential. And then letting the voters decide who they want to be their judge.
Thank you for explaining. That's very helpful. We're out of time.
That went fast.
It does. This has been Video Voters Guide. Thank you very much for watching. The general election is Tuesday, November 16th, and the last day to register to vote is October 16th. Yes, excuse me, the election is November 6th. Last day to register is the 16th of October. We urge voters to visit the League of Women Voters of Oregon website for further information, and most especially to visit vote411.org. Candidates can upload their YouTube videos there, and you will find links to the races that are on your ballot. Please use those systems and other resources to be an informed voter. Your vote matters. Learn about the candidates and the ballot measures, exercise your right to vote, and encourage your family and friends to do the same. Thank you for watching.